we get deals from, other investors that we work with, just some direct marketing we do ourselves. So you just really got to, be out there and be willing to partner with different people because you never know where a deal is going to come from.
What's up, everybody? My name's Mike Sjogren, here with my co-host,
Emmanuel Pani.
We're part of a group of specialized real estate investors you've probably never heard of.
We didn't start with deep pockets or wealthy families, and we don't rely on 401ks, mutual funds, or traditional real estate investing.
In fact, many of us don't even own the properties that fund our freedom. If you ask the money experts out there, they'd say what we do is impossible, yet it's happening every single day.
It's happening through a new niche called short-term rentals.
We are Short-Term Rental Nation, and these are our secrets. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Short-Term Rental Secrets podcast. I am your host, Mike Sjogren, here with my main man and brother from another mother, Mr. Emmanuel Pani. What is going on, E?
My brother, it's fall. It's not hot anymore. Everything looks amazing, feels amazing. Thanksgiving is coming up. I'm excited, bro. It's my favorite time of the year. It's Q4 of the year, so really busy into really planning early now for 2021, what it is that we're doing. So I had a meeting with my business partner, John, for our apartment acquisition. So kind of already setting up some goals, looking at markets. So I love this time of the year, right? Because we get to kind of like harvest everything that's happened up to this point, and then kind of start planting seeds for the future, which is always my favorite thing,
Absolutely. And you're getting into your busy season, right?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. What is really funny is, and I think I've seen this in our group as well, is the fact that reservations are coming, but they're coming a lot later. So they're coming really on top of time, and they're really long, actually. Like all the stuff that we're getting lately is I get nothing. And then like 2 weeks before the beginning of anything specific, we'll get long reservations, like a month, 6 weeks. So people are really kind of waiting for the last minute, which is very unusual.
It's definitely a trend for this year and this time in particular. I've been on a few different conferences lately, and that's just a trend across the board. A lot more last minute bookings. People are just hesitant to travel because they don't know, is there going to be a second wave of this whole thing or whatever? So they're just kind of holding out and then just booking those trips last minute.
So gotta get used to it, you know what I mean? But we're definitely back up to good occupancy for this time of the year, and now we're going into season, so I'm not worried.
Nice.
So
Excellent. Well, today we've got two very special guests that we've been friends with for probably 5 years now, which is crazy. Today we have Scott and Heidi Huggins down in the Carolinas. Like I said, we've known them for a while. They've got their hands in all sorts of real estate, and they bring a wide variety of skill sets and experience. And they've got 9 units now, and they use all 3 different models that we talk about. They own some, they master lease or rental arbitrage some, and then they co-host some. So we will definitely talk about all 3 of those models, pros and cons, operating and scaling and creating systems and all that good stuff. So without further ado, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for being here. So why don't you kind of take us back, give us a little bit more about your background and how you guys got into short-term rentals.
Well, we've been doing real estate investment for quite a while, and I had a background in just regular long-term rentals. And, probably about 3 years ago, we had a property. We got it creatively, and we were trying to sell it on a lease option, and just we're not getting a lot of qualified people. So we heard about this Airbnb thing. So we're like, hey, let's put it on there and see how that does. And so we listed it. And probably the only good thing we had going for us was because we were trying to sell it, we had really good professional pictures. It's just the whole place was empty with no furniture though. But so we put those on there, and we had people, believe it or not, just starting to book it, and they were asking, "Hey, what's the furniture look like?" And we were like, oh man, we might be onto something. We got to get some furniture. So, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
I love it. And so what was that first deal? Kind of walk us through that a little bit more. So it was a property that you guys were flipping?
Yeah. So it was a flip property at first. It's, we're in Charleston, and it's kind of a little suburb of Charleston, I guess you could say. So it's not like a really known vacation spot, really. It's a little bit further out from Charleston and the beaches, but so we acquired it through a referral from another investor. So it was a foreclosure. We took it over that way. We took it over what's called a sub 2. So we assumed the payments on the previous mortgage for the guy, bailed him out, assumed the mortgage, did the rehab on it, trying to flip it. Like I said, we were trying to sell it creatively on the lease option. Just we're not getting people with the down payment. So we ended up doing a short-term rental route on it.
Sure. So for those folks that aren't familiar with subject twos, because I've gotten a lot of questions around different types of creative financing. So at a high level, basically, you've got an owner of a property that's in some sort of distressed situation where they're basically falling behind on the bills, and they're going to lose the house at some point. So you basically come in and take over the mortgage, and then you end up with whatever equity they had in the property, and you save them from going through foreclosure and all that, right?
Right.
Correct. And believe it or not, they don't necessarily have to be in foreclosure. We've done these where just from direct marketing, just people wanting to get out of properties, you can do it that way too. They don't necessarily have to be behind.
Awesome.
Or they could be in about foreclosure, and then we can try to help them, with their, consent. We reposition their loan and try to get it, where we can, pay the payments, and it's not, going into foreclosure anymore. Or, if they have this, it's a month before it goes into foreclosure, we can get them out of that. So we really,
sometimes
we really like helping people, with their problems.
Problem is what it's all about.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. And to me, what's amazing is, like, for our listeners, I think over time, you just get to hear how many ways you can kind of get here, right? Like, what's the saying? How many ways you can kill a chicken? Like, there's a lot of ways, right? There's a lot of ways for you to get into real estate with little to no money down. It's really about, like, really two things: is how outside of the box can you think, and then two, what Heidi and Scott just said is, like, you gotta kind of like helping people, because if you like helping people, you can help them solve their problems, and that's when we get paid at the end of the day, So you went online, first listings, no furniture, which I've never done personally, to list something with no furniture, but apparently it works.
We've done it again, believe it or not.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. I didn't know. To 9 units now. So what happened there? What are some of the lessons? What kind of helped you guys get to the scale?
Well, you really have to go out and, partner with people to get the deal flow coming in. That's the main thing. And like I said, we already kind of had an investment background, so we were already networking with other investors. So that's, we get deals from, other investors that we work with, just some direct marketing we do ourselves. So you just really got to, be out there and be willing to partner with different people, because you never know where a deal is going to come from. You just got to be putting the word out there.
And you never know what those people want. Sometimes we partner with people and, they own the house, and we just, we do our thing, fill it with furniture, and then we manage it, and they're totally hands off, except for paying their mortgage payment. Some people want to be more involved, with it. Some people want to be way too involved in it, and we kind of shy away from those, people, because I'm a control freak. So I have to have control of everything. So, but it works well with, our investors, because then they know where we stand, and they know where I stand, and they know, that we're strong with it, what we do.
Yeah.
So when you take over for somebody and you're doing on the management side, you guys do all the furnishings and everything else, and then they just kind of get a check when you do the management?
There is one property that we have like 2 homes on the river, and they had a majority of the furniture. I just go in there and, you know, make it look nice. So I just go
Make
in
it better.
and design it. Yeah. And so we've made that one work, and that's very profitable over there. Another way that we, you know, partner with people is just like real estate agents. If they bring us a deal and they can't sell the house, you know, we give them an acquisition fee, and we just take the whole thing over, and we try to help, you know, the person that's in distress. So there's so many different ways, you know. I forgot about that one, so I wanted to add that one too, because that one's important, you know.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, I want to go a little bit deeper, because one of the big questions I get, especially from newer folks, is like, how do I find these properties, right? Especially if they're going to like co-host somebody else's property. So the way that we have set it up is basically the owner pays for all the furnishings. Like, we'll design it, but then they pay for all those costs, but then they participate in the upside. So it's like a 75-25 split. So they make more than they would if they were just going to, you know, rent it to us on a 12-month lease, like a rental arbitrage. But they're making the investment in all the furnishings and the decor and the linens and all that jazz. So for you guys, we've talked about a few different ways of structuring deals, but I want to kind of unpack that a little bit more. So you can work with agents. So you're going to pay them an acquisition fee. What does that look like? Like, is it a percentage? Is it a fixed amount? Like, how do you guys structure that type of stuff?
It's a fixed amount, because we want them out of the way, you know, as soon as possible.
Yeah, just like a referral fee.
Yeah.
So like and agents are already used to that. They're used to getting like a referral fee.
What's like a standard referral fee?
Like, I think for that one we did, you know, $500 to $1,000. You know, whatever your market is and whatever you feel comfortable, and whatever your numbers of support.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
well, with
You got to make it worth your while.
The first one was $2,000. The first one was $2,000 acquisition fee, but we were taking over the whole house. I mean, it was pretty much ours, and we just wanted, you know, to get her out of the way, and, you know, and then after that, it was a done deal, and we've had that house for like almost 3 years now, and we've actually got somebody in there for 4 months, and it's doing very well. So.
And that's a house that you own now, or is that a house that, okay, I got it. So you use agents for a referral, not just for necessarily vacation rentals. You just use agents for referrals on deals that are a little bit complicated, and then they can come to you, and then you guys choose what to do with it. If you're going to rent it, flip it, assign it, whatever.
Right. We kind of know, you know, what we're going to do with it, obviously, before we get it. But, you know, yeah, we like to have some different options. And Heidi's actually talking about this house we're in right here. You know, we paid the agent kind of referral fee for that, you know, similar to what he would get on a commission. And we took it over, and we've been here like 2-3 years now. So, in this house.
Now we're living.
Now we're living in this one. So
this was a huge house. It's very nice. So
It's awesome.
So you've got you've got the agent referral fees, and then you mentioned, I guess, like investor relationships, and then like direct mail type stuff. So can we kind of unpack those a little bit more? So when you're saying investor relations, what does that look like?
So like I said, we had an investment background before we kind of got into short-term rentals. So a lot of the deals we get are just from, you know, going to investor network meetings, participating in other deals, because then they hear about us and we talk about what we do, and the word just kind of gets around, and then you'll just get some deals kind of just flowing your way just from doing that naturally, just getting out there and talking to them about what you do, and because a lot of people don't understand short-term rentals and the different ways when you talk to like that first flip that we did, our short-term, like looking back on our shortterm rental income over that first year, it pretty much, that first year paid for the renovation cost on that deal. So we got that money back. And then, everything after that first year is kind of gravy. Well, that kind of opens up the possibility of not necessarily flipping some properties. If you can get all your money back in 1 year, there are a lot of investors that would hang on to that property, you know, and get that money back in 1 year and just keep renting it and, you know, putting money in their pocket. So,
And we've had
sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Heidi.
We had 2 properties that we actually sold. We short-term rented for, you know, a year or 2 years, and we sold them, and we made really good profit. Like the one we last did was $40,000 we made off that one. And it was just a townhome, and we just, because we let it, you know, the equity accumulate for a couple of years, and then we sold it, and now we can put more money into doing, you know, more. So.
Yeah, I love that, because like we had another guest on, Christina, that is actually down here in Fort Lauderdale, and she does the same thing. So she buys single families and she funds. So the way that she did it, which was super interesting, is she takes 0 interest 1 year credit cards, and she'll put all the rehab on it, and then she'll put all the Airbnb money towards paying that bill off. So pretty much getting interest-free money for the year. And then on the second year, once she's paid off with the rehab, she built up a bunch of equity, and then she'll refinance them. So it's literally, again, like, how many ways do you know? Like, you can play this game in all shapes and forms.
Knowledge and education is power, you know.
And tell me a little bit more about like the mailers, because that's interesting. I know a lot of folks do that on like the multifamily side or the fix and flip side. Are you sending mailers directly to owners that have properties that you guys want to manage or master lease, or how are you targeting? Like, what does that look like? What does that type of campaign look like for you guys?
Yeah, we just really started doing a little bit more direct marketing, because we were just kind of getting most of our deals, you know, from other people, referrals. So we just really kind of got into that. So what we're doing right now is we're kind of going after properties we would want to short-term rent, and so we're directly marketing to those guys. And right now we're just doing direct mail. We're going to do some, you know, voicemail, call drops, and just knocking on doors. I got, you know, our son's helping us do some drive-bys. He works for Amazon, so that kind of comes in handy. He can make some money on the side, you know, doing what he's already doing. So,
and that's what I wanted to touch on. We tell all of our friends and family, if you see houses that are all grown up, if you see houses that have for sale by owner, or, you know, somebody's renting a house and you see a sign, you know, just a generic sign in the yard, you know, they're probably not going to have it on Zillow or anything like that, or be with an agent. I said, you give that property to us, we will give you a $500 referral if we close on it. So it motivates our friends and family to bring all these properties to us, and we just research it, see if it's in the right area, and then, you know, if we end up closing on it, they get $500. And, you know, it's an easy way, because if they're driving in places we haven't drove, and they're all over the, you know, Charleston, they're bringing us houses like all the time. Look at this house, look at that house, look at this house, you know. So that's an easy way that we can get and your friends and family to, if somebody doesn't know how or where to start, that's an easy way to start.
And are these properties that you guys are going to purchase, or are these for master lease or co-host? Like, what is your primary strategy right now?
Well, I mean, first of all, we'd like to own them, because, you know, we look at our numbers, you know, we just kind of looked at them over the past year, and we find, like, you know, certain properties tend to do better than other ones. Not that they don't all do pretty good. We just, you know, you can make, you know, maybe double to triple on some types of properties in our area. So we kind of zero in on those. We definitely would want to own those, but like I said, we got different, you know, tools in our bag. If we can't work out a ownership plan where we own it, you know, we can also manage it, you know, for somebody else and get a %. That's fine too. Or
just rent it out and guaranteed rent. You know, we do rental arbitrage as well. We have, you know, a few properties that we do that. And we even have apartments that we have a couple rental on, and they're 3 bedrooms, and we cater to, you know, the larger families.
Yeah.
So
forgot about that. Property managers too. Yeah.
Yep. So we just find those apartment deals that, or apartments that are actually pretty new, that they're going up, they're getting given incentives. They might be giving away like free month rent for 2 months, or, money off. And it really worked out for us.
That's the cheapest way to get in, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the apartments, you pay like you might get a free month's rent or two, and maybe put down $500 security deposit on it, and then all you got to do is come up with the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're new, so usually they're just looking to put up occupancy and not really care who goes in there, because they want to resell it, right? Or they want to refinance it. Exactly. So there's probably not a lot of rules. I love it. And like, you guys do so many things. Every time I'm like, I do a lot of things, and then I talk to you guys and you have like a whole family, and I'm like, shit, I need to do more stuff.
Well, that's what we do. We talk to other people too, and we're like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So pretty much, if I understood, then it's you find what you want, area, asset class, or whatever works. And then once you get in front of this person, it's really like he who is most flexible wins, right? So you go like, what do you want? We can buy it. Do you want us to rent it for you? We can rent it. Do you want us to rent it from you? We can do it. Mm-hmm. So you're really like, how do you want it? We can do it.
Exactly. We literally might just lay out 3 different options of how we can take over that property. So like our offer might have like 3 offers within it. Like if you want us to take over the mortgage and, this way, or we'll do a lease option from other owners as well. So we'll put that on the table, or just a straight up, if it's a landlord, they might, or sometimes the owner, they might be willing to rent it to us. So we just put it out there, see what they want to do, give them options.
And 3 is the key. Don't give them more than 3 options.
Don't give them too many.
that gets really, then people want to run. But
yeah, that's too much.
Too many things on the menu.
Yeah. So where do you guys see in your specific market, where do you see now, like COVID kind of happens, COVID is kind of still here, not really, maybe, who knows. Where do you see like the next couple of months going? Where do you see the industry going? Like, what is your feeling?
I think it's wonderful.
It's here to stay. I mean, if anything, COVID has shown us that short-term rental is here to stay, because if it was going to go under, that would have been it, and it was looking kind of murky there, like right out the gate when everybody was canceling. I mean, across the board. Yeah. But then people started rebooking, and the calendar started filling back up, and then we're like, some people had some of the best months, they've ever had.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah,
we did. We had the best
well.
months we've had, and one guy rented, one of our units, $7,000 for a month. Yeah. And that was great. And that was for an investor, and he was very happy. He was, just, and that's what I think is about. Is your investors happy? Are we performing for them? And they've been very happy with us. And I think that's, even if ours didn't do as well, I want theirs to do the best, and they really did. And when we put those 2 apartments on, those 2 3-bedroom apartments, then COVID hit. It was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? But then we just wrote it out, and now they're being booked like every single week, and we are good. And we just got we just got another one that wants to be in one of the other units for a month, so we're getting like pretty much longer bookings now. And
that reminds me, relocation companies is another good one. We got a relocation company that's booked one of our properties. We just extended it today until the end of December. So
get a hold of the insurance company.
I love them.
Yeah,
they're amazing. And also because you don't know who's paying the bill, and nobody seems to care. They're always like, yeah, sure, whatever it is. Yeah, is it nice? I'm like, yeah, it's nice. It's like, they'll take it.
Or even insurance companies, people's, if their houses, we have one lady, her house has just got flooded, and they've had to rent from us for months. And so they have a unit in the insurance company that, puts people into different houses, and we've had really good success with that too. So.
Yeah. So how do you find those relationships? Because that's interesting. I always say like relocation is its own niche, and it's anywhere, quite frankly, whether it's from an emergency or a job relocation. So how do you find like relocation placement agencies and insurance agencies to work with?
You know, a lot of times, like, I think that one, they actually reached out to us, you know, because, well, their client reached out to us. And then, so then we started talking to the relocation company. We're like, well, hey, how can we get some more of these deals from you guys? Like, so now we're on their list.
And they just said, you know, just what I would do is call the insurance companies, and they'll give you instructions to get on their, you know, their housing list. So,
yeah,
I
I love that.
It's not hard.
No, and it's really like,
Yeah.
what is funny is, and I think we had this, was this the last podcast we did, Mike, that the 9 type of travelers? Like, this has been a thing that has really helped us down here during the off season, is people doing renovations, home renovations, and not wanting, like, buying or closing a house. So I work personally with a lot of real estate agents. I'm like, hey, if you ever have a client that needs place in between kind of stays, I pay you a commission. If they go to a Hilton, you won't get anything anyways, right? And the home renovations. So it's really like, once again, it's like, where can you find people, where you can find them, and how you can help them, you know? So if you have more people, and the idea with the family, maybe that will make me like my family more if they started bringing me real estate deals. So I'll probably tell them, I'm like, I'll give you money if you bring me deals. So it's worth a try, you know?
There you go. Christmas and Thanksgiving will be totally different.
So, yeah, seriously.
Hopefully I get some presents.
How has your operation, I guess, evolved, you know, as you went from having that first one, and then you had a second and a third, and all the way up to 9? Like, what does that look like for you guys? Like, what types of systems do you have in place for automation, or team members, or what does that look like for you guys now?
Oh man, you want to take that one? It's a lot.
It is a lot, but you know, you don't just start out and then have all this stuff. You have to start out, and it's gradually, you know, go into your systems and gradually find different things that will help you with, you know, bookings and messaging and all that stuff. We actually have an office person now, which I love her to death. And she takes care of my messaging. She takes care of, you know, all the like problems that we have in the bookings and the people that are coming in, and our system. So if one system is not complying with the rest of it, she goes in there and she fixes it. So it frees us up. I have 2 wonderful maids that work all the time. And then we're constantly hiring more.
A laundry person.
A laundry person. I have a laundry person. And this is so weird. I wanted to buy a laundromat, and it is like so hard to buy a laundromat around here. So what I did is I took a storage unit, and it is air controlled, and it's on the bottom level. And I built my laundry facility. I bug controlled it, everything, you know, that thing is, you know, got air conditioning, it's got heat in the winter. And so I have racks and racks of my laundry, and my laundry lady can go there, not my house, and take care of all the laundry. And I found a laundromat that does my laundry, and she just picks it up and folds it, puts it up. And I mean, that was like the biggest thing, is trying to keep maids, trying to you know, figure out the laundry dilemma, because you know, that was just really hard, because once you have so many properties and they're turning over really fast, you're not going to be able to do all the laundry in the units. With us, we have bigger properties. We focus on 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. So those properties are
a lot of towels.
Way too much. Yeah, it's way too much. So to relieve them from doing the laundry, we just hired somebody, and she's doing a great job. She brings them the laundry, and then she takes the old ones out, takes the laundromat, takes the new ones, puts it in the laundry, and she just, you know, rotates them. So that is like my biggest, hugest, like, aha this year. Like, I'm very happy. It's freed me up to be able to do so much stuff.
Yeah. And I love that point, because that's the thing that when you grow to scale that you don't think about, right? And but at the same time, we had is the whole concept of like, what does hospitality as like hotels do very well? And hotels, that's what it is, right? Like they have everything is done, everything is clean, everything is in the cart. So they show up with the cart, the dirty stuff goes inside the cart and then gets given to somebody else, and somebody else washes it and puts it back. And that's how we run our stuff too. Is just like my team shows up with this huge, and you can buy them from Amazon. There's this huge XL laundry bags that you can close with. Those, exactly. And then they show up, they throw all the stuff inside, and then they bring another bag that has all the clean stuff. And especially because when you're doing big houses, and I don't know if this only happens in Florida, but if we had 8 towels or have 26 towels, they'll use all the fucking towels.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long they're staying. Somehow, every single towel gets used in the house. So then you have to rewash everything and the sheets and everything else. So really, and especially because yours are all not all in one location, right? You kind of have them, a little bit everywhere. So having a single location for the laundry, it's so important. And it's a problem that you only have when you grow to scale, because
how geographically dispersed are they? Because that is a huge advantage of concentrating on an area, whereas my portfolio is really dispersed. Like we have that economies of scale at the hotel, but most of the portfolio is a couple units here, a couple units there. So I guess how dispersed are those 9 units for you guys? Like, is all of the supplies in that one storage unit for all of them?
Yes, but the storage unit is central. So most of the time, if they're in James Island, they are always going by the storage unit. You know, she always goes there anyways. And if she has to go to Somerville, she can, you know, it's just central to everything. So she's going by there either one way or another. And so is the laundromat. The laundromat is 5 minutes away from the storage area to drive there. So we wanted something that was, you know, very close, very, you know, centralized. And and it's centralized with my house too. So if I have to go to the storage unit, it's like 5 minutes away. And so I made it so that way, if in case of emergency, I had to go and do something, I wasn't going to have to drive all the way, you know, for half an hour to get there. And so that just really worked out, you know, for us as well.
How do these people get paid? So do they get like part of the exit cleaning fee? They get a percentage of because they get a percentage of your management fee. What kind of payment structure did you guys make for them?
We actually, I paid the laundry person, not, I mean, out of what, you know, our, you know, profits are, but we charge an extra, like more for our cleaning fee. We don't charge less than $150.
Yeah, same.
So,
but that includes money in there for supplies, the laundry, and the cleaner.
Right. So, and the hot tubs. You know, well, we do a hot tub fee too. Yeah. So we do a $79, you know, resort fee. We do a cleaning fee, which we don't call it a cleaning fee anymore.
Yeah. Little tip. If you've ever had cancellations on Airbnb and you know how they refund their cleaning fee, we don't call our fees cleaning fees. Call them something else. And then if somebody cancels, you get to keep that fee.
We just had it happen this week.
So what did you call it?
Community fee, resort fee, anything except the cleaning or linen fee, because those are both considered cleaning fees. Airbnb will refund it if they cancel.
And not only that, if you have somebody that stays in your property that is absolutely a pig, you can ask for the cleaning fee because you did not have a cleaning fee.
True.
So, I mean, if you want more for your cleaning, because you have to pay your maids more to clean the house, you can ask for a cleaning fee because it wasn't in your description. And then instead of Airbnb or VRBO saying that you already have a cleaning fee, they'll say, okay, because there is no cleaning fee, we'll grant you a cleaning fee.
That's some ninja tip right there. I have never heard of anybody doing that.
Never heard that. And it's brilliant because people, they're comparing apples to apples and they're like, oh, these people don't charge me a cleaning fee. Psych is just hidden somewhere else and you get them.
Call it something else.
Good. You see that, but guys, this is the beauty of the more you learn, the more ways you have to play the game. Right? So this as you can tell, Heidi and Scott are super outside of the box kind of thinkers when it comes to a lot of things. Like, I don't know anybody that would rent a storage unit and build a shuffle laundry facility. So like, that is that, like, I don't know anybody else that would do that. So like but it's all a matter of, can you think it, can you implement it, and then just run with it, right?
We'll see. The storage unit has one plug in it. So we have put a camera inside the storage unit, put an extra Wi-Fi in there. So anybody that goes into the storage unit, I can see them from my phone.
And it's a ring, so they can talk to us.
Yeah, so they can talk to us when they're in there, and so we have it all set up for the Wi-Fi, the ring door, like the ring camera and everything. So we know
where I just push a button, I'll do it.
Wow, that's a high-end storage unit.
Yeah,
wow. Picturing like the metal door that goes up, but you got like
yes,
it is, yes, drive up.
Yeah, drive up, and she can just drive her van up right there, and it's big. It's really big. I should send you a picture of it.
Yeah, we would love that.
But yeah, so I have plenty of room. I have a table in there for her to fold. I even have a small iron in there in case she needs to like iron out some of the pillowcases and
we
stuff
couldn't
like
rent
that.
a place anywhere else cheaper, and we're not living there.
Mhm.
So they're fine with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what has this become because the last time we spoke, Heidi was still selling real estate, having to like jump over snakes. I think it was one of the stories.
Yeah.
So are you guys doing that still, apartment syndication, or has that become just, you just do this now?
Yeah, I renewed my license just because I'm not letting that go.
Yeah, no, we can't. That's not a thing you do.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that stuff. And I don't care if somebody's selling $1 million house. I just can't. I can't. I refer it out. So just because to me, it's not as fulfilling as doing this. You're not waiting 45 days to get a check. That may or may not happen. We get money every single day, as you guys know. Like, it just comes in, it flows. You're helping people on a daily basis. You're always I don't know. It just seems like it's so much more fulfilling to do short-term rental, to do vacation rental, because you're not just, catering to people that are on vacation or bachelor parties. You're catering to people that have funerals. You're catering to people that, are coming in and they've had surgery or something, they're building a little hospital inside of your home and stuff. So especially with COVID, we'd had people from New York come and just, hang out for 3 months in one of our properties and just, right
out the storm.
Yeah, right out the storm. I mean, they just stayed there and they enjoyed themselves instead of being in New York during the whole thing. So to me, I feel like that is more rewarding.
But literally, it's probably been over a year,
Yeah, no, and that's kind of like, we have these questions for all of our guests as we kind of get to see where they're at. It's like the level of freedom that comes with this business. And like, to me and Mike has been obvious, right? But I love to have a guest on that I know how much you guys used to grind with all these other different things, and be like, so what has this business done for you? And to be able to hear that you're like, yeah, I don't sell real estate. I don't have to walk over snakes anymore. That's not a thing that I do. No matter how much you're going to pay me, the quality of my life is higher now. So I do this over that. To me, that's the name of the game. If you can do that and create a life worth living, what else do you need?
Yeah, it's awesome. And during this whole time also, we were able to just redo our house, get our house done. So that has been a big, huge, great thing that's happened this year too. And I'm just
awesome.
I'm really happy, because people ask you, how is your 2020? Because a lot of people are really down about it. And I'm just like, I can't say that. I mean, I can't say that it's been a bad thing for me.
We're blessed.
We're very blessed.
We're
very blessed. So
that's amazing. To me, it's when like luck meets preparation, in a sense, I mean, you guys have done a lot of work over the years that Mike and I have known you to kind of make this happen. But it is also very awesome to see it just kind of like all come together.
And I'm glad that you guys got some good cleaners, because I remember those conversations
know,
that we were
right?
having a couple of years ago. I was like praying for you guys.
We were doing everything. We hired people full time. We were doing contractors. We hired, a cleaning company, and that worked great for a while until the cleaning company bailed on us, and then we were right at Christmas.
Yeah,
And
the
then-
night before.
Then we lost all our cleaners.
Christmas Eve.
Like,
The
not doing
night
that.
before Christmas Eve, I sent them like $1,000 check, and they sent me an email like an hour later that says, "I'm sorry, we can no longer work for you." I'm like, what?
So yeah, if you're using a cleaning company and you got a bunch of properties, keep that in mind, because we kind of got burned on that deal. So
Yeah.
Live and
So
learn.
always, get like 2 or 3 people, because if you lose one, then at least you can fall back on another. But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise, and we got through it just like we do everything. We always get through it. We always, one way or another, we always just get through it, and we do it, and that's what we do, and we figure it out, and
keep going.
Yep. We solve problems. That's what we do. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap things up with the last question, and I'm really anxious to ask you guys this question, where can folks learn more about you guys and your properties and what you guys are up to? And if they have any deals that they want to pass your way, where can they send them to and get in touch with you guys?
Sure. So you can go to our direct booking website and look at our properties. It's stayfuncharleston.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to shoot us an email, you can shoot it to me at scott@stayfuncharleston.com as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for being here. And the final question that we like to ask all of our guests is, what is your number one secret to success with short-term rentals?
Oh man, good question.
Perseverance.
Persevere.
Amen.
Not everybody said yes. Not everybody is going to say yes. So you got to take those no's and don't, let it, sink your ship and just keep going.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that.
Don't let the people that stay with you that have bad attitudes get you down, because there's a lot of people that stay that really appreciate what you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but that's my word, perseverance. We've had to really persevere.
good one.
So
I would say, as 2020, let the Karens be Karens and just move on to the next guest, because there is always a nice guest after a Karen that comes through and destroys your life. So as long as you keep going, you're good. But it's true.
yeah.
You're going to get those. You're going to get some of those guests. No matter what you do, you're not going to be happy. Or,
Yeah. Do you own a restaurant?
the day up and they think they're going to get a full refund. That's just, the way it goes.
Oh, we've had some guests too. We had one that was really ugly to us and bashed us on Facebook and everything. But
you could do probably a whole show on just guest
I
stories.
know,
I
right?
think.
Well, we're going to do a Halloween special, Halloween horror stories.
I have some
cool,
stories.
yeah.
You should send us some. You should send us some.
Yes.
We'll read them.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that's definitely in theme for October, and I think it'll be really funny because we all have some stories, so I think
That's the exception, not the rule, though. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, 100%.
It is.
And it's totally worth it though when you get those nice reviews, when people like are so appreciative. It just makes it so worth it. That you just forget about. You're never going to please everybody. There's always that one that's just like, God, you are a miserable human, but whatever.
Well,
and you can tell them, you can tell them right out the gate. Like we have kind of zeroed in, and we try to weed out some of those folks.
We're like, how are you? Average. I'm like, okay. And then we've had people like, that want to eat ramen noodles in our hot tubs. And I mean, we've had it all. I think we've seen it all.
Nice. I love it. Well, thank you guys again so much for being here. I've really enjoyed, knowing you guys over the last few years, seeing you guys evolve throughout your real estate careers and taking this thing off and going full time. It's been really cool. And you guys have given me some great advice, years ago too, when I was getting started. So thank you guys for everything.
And today, no extra clean fees, no more.
Likewise, my friends. We've gotten great advice from you guys and love the show and just keep going, man. Love it.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
guys.
Guys,
All right, guys. We'll talk soon.
all right, take care.
Take care.
Hey, STR Nation, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. And in the comments, let us know what topics you want us to cover on upcoming episodes, and we'll make sure to get that in the books for you. And if you really want to learn how to launch, automate, and scale your short-term rental business, if you want to go deeper, then check out our free masterclass at strsecrets.com.